Hello everyone, I wanted to drop in today with a little bit of a different video. I want to talk about what I'm planning to work on for 2021. So I want to start off with this. This is one of the newer flip books from Simple Stories. If you haven't seen them, they're binding, actually here, let's do it this way. The binding looks like this, and then you just move these out of the way to totally take it apart, put in your page protectors, and go about your business. And SEI, if anybody remembers them, SEI had something like this back in the day, but they were much smaller. I think they only made the 4x6 books, or maybe an 8x8 or something. But they make these now by Simple Stories in 6x8. And what I have decided to do with this one is redo an album. I have never redone an album ever until now. And the reason I'm redoing it is, if you've watched any of my flip throughs, I had one on there of a traveler's notebook from 2017 from spending time in London. And it was my daughter and I in London that time. And I thought a TN would be fine because I had been to London before and we did some of the same things. There were some things different, but a lot of the same things. And so I thought, oh yeah, that'll be fine. And when I finished it, I was okay with it. But the more I've looked at it since then, I'm not happy with it. And finally, I just decided I have to get rid of it. Like, I can't stand looking at it. So what I've done is I've decided to move to this. So I'm going to redo it. I have ordered all the photos. I'm waiting for them to come. And then I ripped out some things and just sort of dropped them in here. So if a page had something on it that I wanted to reuse, like my journaling here, and then on the back I actually had our boarding pass. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that off and reuse it, but I tore it out and kept it just to see if there was anything that I could reuse. So I have that in there, and then I have just some extra pages in here trying to gauge how big it would be. I really think it's gonna be fine like this. So really I don't need a bigger album. This kind of thinner style will be fine. I had these in pockets, so I was easily able to take those out. So I have a coffee cozy here and a business card from where we had coffee in King's Cross. And then I pulled out some of our Harry Potter stuff. My daughter won this in line. She won the trivia contest when we were standing there waiting to have our photos taken at platform 9 3/4. So I might want to reuse that. I also have a tag of some stuff that we bought in the shop there. So I might want to reuse that. So I pulled that. And I have some more stuff too. I also pulled out some pocket cards, a receipt, another page that had a ticket on it that I might want to use. And then in the back, I definitely wanted this. I had my Oyster card, which is what you use to get around on the tube in London. So I want to try to peel that off, but I used red line tape, so it's really stuck on there. And then I had another receipt in the back. All right, so that was where I am with London, just waiting for those photos to come. Then I also have to work on Philly. And I've actually done a couple of layouts, but then I just sort of left it because I really wanted to finish Boston and New York, which are done now. Yay! Those were huge, huge projects. Philly is too, don't get me wrong. I've actually gone back and sort of pared down my photos because I really felt like I had too many. So hopefully that will help when I get started. But I do have a little bin here ready of some stuff that was pulled out of my stash and things I bought that I thought would work for Philly. I also have some things already in some page protectors like receipts and brochures and things to make sure that I actually work them in the album. So I do have that started, relatively speaking, and I'm excited to work on that. So my biggest projects coming up are Ireland and Wales. And actually the album, I'm doing one album just for Dublin. That's the only place I went in Ireland to this time. I did not leave Dublin when I was there. And then I have Wales, and I have multiple stops in Wales. And actually it's slightly misleading because at one point I actually crossed into England to Shrewsbury. So I actually have some stuff for England as well. So you'll see in my things here that I have singled out what was for Shrewsbury and what wasn't. So in this bin, I've already separated some things out. Like this one is specific to things I want to use for Dublin. So I have some brochures and things. And I've also separated out into 3 of these little pouches from Citrus Twist into the different areas. Like this one says Shrewsbury, so that's all for that. This, oops, it's upside down. And then I have Dublin and the rest of Wales in here. Plus I have a bunch of things like sequins that I know I want to use, and just little embellishment things that I pulled out of my stash thinking they might work for this trip. I also bought a bunch of these tags, office tag type things, because for my brochures and things that I want to insert, I think I want to make tabs and just have them be able to turn in the album, not inside a page protector. And then I have these wood veneer that I bought from an Allie Edwards travel release, and I have plans for those, but I won't say what they are. It'll be a surprise. And then I have a bunch of extra cards, like these I thought would work for Wales. These are just more generic, could be anywhere in there, but they're travel related. So Dublin and Wales will definitely be the bigger project that I'm working on, but as they're separate albums, you'll get to see layouts that work in both of those albums. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what's coming this year. I'm also planning to stick with my read and review series, covering books that I read in a traveler's notebook. So if you've been enjoying that, you'll get to see more of that too. Thanks for watching.